psalm a day. That's called Rapid. And today we are here in Psalm 136, as you can see on your screen. But before we read it, we're going to come up and say hi. Let's say hi, Pam. Let me see if I can hide the verses.
Hi, Psalm 136 on Monday the 14th. And guess what? We're giving thanks again. It's a recurring theme in the book of Psalms. The Lord loves when we give thanks.
Thank Him, thank Him. Thank Him in the morning, thank Him in the noontime. Thank Him, thank Him. Thank Him that I'm finally done singing. All right, we're going to read a couple verses, then we're going to talk about it, and then we're going to read a couple more verses and talk about it, so goodbye. Okay, here we go. Give thanks to the Lord, for He is good, for His steadfast love endures forever. That is the theme of this. That statement is repeated 26 times. Give thanks to the God of gods, for His steadfast love endures forever. Give thanks to the Lord of lords, for His steadfast love endures forever. To Him who alone does great wonders, for His steadfast love endures forever. Do you see a theme here? Let's talk about it.
We are giving thanks. So, our question for you today is...
I'm thankful that you have a question to give to these people.
I always have questions. Did you start your thankful journal, and how is it going? We've got text in inboxes that some of you started thankful journals, and that is super, super cool. It makes us
started them
focus.
Based on what? On what we talked about back in January or just recently?
Last week. We talked about on doing thankful journals. And so
I didn't know there was anybody that wasn't already doing them.
Gives us a focus of looking for the good in the day and looking for the blessing instead of rehearsing the negative. Thankful journals are life-changing. So I hope you started your thankful journal, because this whole psalm is
because His love endures forever. That's why.
And His love endures forever. So much to be thankful for.
So what are some key thoughts you have about being thankful before His love endures forever?
And in verse 4, it says, He alone does great wonders. And God creates like nobody else does. He alone does the great wonders. And every good and perfect gift comes from Him. James 1:17. That was like a combo of a couple things He's creating here in these verses.
I think it's cool that He alone does great wonders.
Yes,
no one else.
I talked about the gifts. Only God. Nobody else. We may think that other things or other people or idols or a lot of the things we've talked about through the journey of Psalm give us great wonders, but they don't. And I know that we can attest to that when we try other things in life and it doesn't work.
So this psalm goes on and it talks all about God delivering the Israelites from the Egyptians and other great things He done. It's this whole repetition of all the things God did for the Israelites. Any key ones we're going to talk about here?
And God delivers us as well. We're going to key in on verse 13.
I'm going to bring it up. And there it is. I'm going to read it to you.
To Him who divided the Red Sea in two.
For His steadfast love endures forever, and made Israel pass through the midst of it. For His steadfast love endures forever. So we're going to talk about passing through the Red Sea, right?
Yes, we are. Because God brings us out of bondage as well. He helps us walk through the seas and storms of our lives. And a song that I love, you know that I always have a song. You always sing a song, and I always have a song that I love to listen to.
Wait, I sing a song, you love a song, but is the song you love ever the song I sing?
Yes, often, especially the songs you wrote for all of us.
Okay.
The song I love is by Bethel Music, and it's called No Longer Slaves. And just like God brought the Israelites out of Egypt in their slavery, He brings us out of our slavery too, because we're in bondage to the things that we're enslaved to. And we're going to be enslaved to something, so I'm going to be enslaved to Jesus, right? So this song, No Longer Slaves, I love the one little stanza in it that says, You split the sea so I could walk right through it. My fears were drowned in perfect love. You rescued me, and I stand and sing, I am a child of God.
So He rescues us and He gives us identity.
That song. Yes, and our identity is in Him. That's so good. He
Thanks.
gives us, I missed that, but He gives us identity. So good.
I have good thoughts too once in a while.
Okay. We're going to talk later in the week. We have a special guest speaker that day about our purpose in Christ and our identity in Christ. So stay tuned. But what I want to talk about right here is think about that when the Israelites, when God parted the Red Sea for them. Can you imagine, like, either the Bible's true or it's not. So if it's true, then it really happened. There really was an ark. There really was a storm. There really was a Red Sea. It really did part. The Israelites really walked through.
Yeah, but Jonah is a whale of a story.
Oh gosh. Wow.
So what's it like walking through the Red Sea?
What's it like walking through? Would it be loud?
Are there fish flopping on the ground by you as you walk by?
Are you feel like is it loud and the waves are going to crash down on you? Was it hard to take that first step? Were they turning back and looking to see the enemies coming? Were they thinking that they get halfway through and the waters would come and drown them? I mean, can you imagine just how loud it would be? I don't like water. All my water sports are above the water. I like to kayak and paddleboard. I don't like to be in the water. So I would have been kind of freaked out.
I'd have brought my scuba gear.
He would have brought his Scuba Steve. That's in one of your promos. Picture of you and Scuba Steve, I think. But walking through the water with the Lord, it says that his perfect love casts out fear. So as we walk through those storms, the water may still be there. The chaos may be around us. It may be loud and noisy.
Sin may be chasing us from behind.
But when we stay focused on the Lord, his perfect love drowns out that fear, and we walk through that storm with him. So oftentimes he didn't remove the enemy. The enemy was coming. Yes, but at that point, the enemy was coming. But
they did get drowned.
And then, yes, the enemy got drowned.
Dead.
Yes, they did. But he walks with us through that storm. So I put,
normally this is Rapid with Pastor Steve, and I have co-hosts. But when this co-host gets on here, then she talks, and I just have to make sure that what she's saying has veracity. I just got to keep her in line, basically. So I become the color commentator, and the executive producer that's like, what are you saying here?
I am sticking straight to Scripture. His perfect love casts out fear. And then look at verse 24. It is he 24. Who remembered us in our lowest state. For his steadfast love endures forever, and rescued us from our foes. For his steadfast love endures forever.
Okay, that was actually verse 23 and 24.
23 and 24.
He remembered us in our lowest state, and he rescued us from our foes. He rescues
us so we can stand and sing.
And we can give thanks to the God of heaven in verse 26. God,
our identity in him. His steadfast love endures forever. So he remembers us, he sees us, and he rescues us. He remembers you, he sees you, and he rescues you. And then we turn the page, and what do? We give thanks to the God of heaven.
Because his
steadfast love endures forever. So we started giving thanks, and we ended giving thanks. So much to be thankful for.
Baby.
And you can put it right in your thankful journal for the day that God rescues you. Think of something that God rescued you from and put it in your thankful journal today.
And I thank you for listening to Rapid Read a Psalm a Day with Pastor Steve and Pam. We'll be back with more. Blessings.
See you tomorrow.